Do you think Chrystia Freeland wants to be Prime Minister?
It is no secret to anyone in Ottawa that Chrystia Freeland has long held some ambition to have the top job, to run to be the leader of the party.
These numbers are horrid, but if you see Chrystia Freeland, she seems to be up there at 11%. Her policies, her budget, everything has crushed this country. She's got the same policies as Trudeau, if not more radical. You know, you look at Mark Carney at 18%. Why? What has he ever done to give you the impression that he can do anything, right? And then my favorite, 26% for none of the above. If you've ever watched Richard Pryor's Brewster's Millions, you'll know that none of the above is quite convincing.
It's going to be a race between Mark Carney and Chrystia Freeland. If it's decided in caucus, it'll be Chrystia Freeland, I suspect.
And imagine that, her the leader of the Liberal caucus. Two things is not right about that. One, her running against Pierre for Prime Minister would just be horrific. She'd be trying to convince us that she didn't screw up this country and want us to vote for her, which is just absurd. They tried the same thing in the States with Kamala Harris. That didn't work out, and I'm assuming it's not going to work here. But imagine her as the official opposition. Mr. Speaker, I want her out. I mean, can we go for none of the above? And you know this leadership race is coming like very soon because there's a lot of people backlashing Trudeau right now. Check this out.
The Atlantic Caucus, the Quebec Caucus, and the Ontario Caucus have all come to a consensus that he should step down.
If we go back to the resignation letter that she wrote, you'll hear that she seems so sincere about how Trudeau's policies were crushing Canadians. Meanwhile, she wants you to think that it had nothing to do with her, and she wants that to be the last thing Canadians remember. So when she transitions into this leadership race and possibly running for Prime Minister, you're going to give her a pass.
She goes on to say they know when we are working for them, and they equally know when we are focused on ourselves. That means eschewing costly political gimmicks, which we ill afford and which make Canadians doubt that we recognize the gravity of the moment.
Oh, we recognize the gravity of the moment. The Prime Minister's approval rating is like almost 10%. You swoop in and give this letter, making it seem like you understand Canadians. And now we know what your plan is. It's to take his job.
But a government, Heather, that is already in a very vulnerable and weak political position. The Prime Minister's office was absolutely blindsided by this. They didn't necessarily see it coming.
That's a load of crap. Do you know the truth is here? These people, they're planting her in there because she's a female. Trust me, they're going to try to do the exact same thing they did in the States with Kamala Harris. Let's be clear here. She literally has no experience at anything before she took this job. Now she's going to be going against Pierre as Prime Minister, possibly. I just can't fathom the fact that this is even going to be a thing.
And she indicates that she's not stepping down totally. She's not leaving politics. She indicates that she will continue on as Liberal Member of Parliament and this is what she says in the letter, I am committed to running again for my seat in Toronto in the next federal election. I mean, is that possible?
Yeah, I think we're all thinking that. Is this even possible? Like for her to go up there in an election, whether it's for the Liberal leadership or the Prime Minister, up against Pierre going, Pierre's the bad guy, Pierre's the bad guy. And then all of a sudden, you know, people are just going to buy that and say, oh, look at her. And then you're going to walk along the street and do polls and people are, who are you voting for? I'm voting for Chrystia Freeland. And you're going to get all the Chrystia Freeland people out there and it's going to seem like it's a race. And you're like, who are these people? Well, I'll show you exactly who these people are. Watch.
But I will tell you, I will not vote for Pierre Poilievre. Not now, not ever. You know, his policies could gain me hundreds of thousands of dollars. I wouldn't care. I will not vote for the man because of what he's doing, because I believe in a civil society where we deal with people, argue with people, yell at people. You don't go the way you've gone, because that's just disgusting.
So he's going to vote for Chrystia Freeland then.